Hi, my name is Dr. Roland Phillips, coming from Desert Dove Health Alliance, and what I'd like to talk to you today is about a recent study published by the World Health Organization on cancer. And it says in this article that half of the men and a third of the women in the United States will develop cancer in their lifetime. Cancer right now is the #2 killer of Americans, behind heart disease. So seeing that it is the #2 killer, I think we need to take a look at what are the contributing factors that you could change today that have a link to creating the internal environment that creates the need for the body to produce this thing that we call cancer. Again, these statements are made in the spirit of creating the internal environment for helping the body be healthy, not treating a specific disease. We don't do that in holistic healthcare. So there was a recent article by the Pharmaceutical Research, and it talked about that cancer itself is a preventable disease, and we need to do this through major lifestyle changes. And only 5 to 10% of the cancers that people develop are genetic. Research at the Breast Cancer Fund has shown that radiation and environmental exposure are major contributing factors to cancer. So what are some major triggers that you could avoid that would create the environment so that your body would be healthy? Here's the first one that you can avoid. It's called the Standard American Diet, or the SAD diet. The Standard American Diet is a junk food diet. It's too high in sugars, processed fats and oils, processed meats, hormone-laden meats, and chemical additives. So that's the first thing that you can start to gradually eliminate from your diet. The next thing is that there's environmental toxins. There's things in the water. There's thousands of chemicals in the water. There's smoke in the air. There's pollutants. There's xenoestrogens, which are called foreign estrogens. This is in the meats. It's in the environment that could produce what's called endocrine disruption, which interrupts our hormonal system. These are environmental. We need to start to avoid these things. Then there's physical trauma. When the physical body gets traumatized, we found in BEST is that it can get locked into a physical pattern of being stuck in defense. And when it's stuck in defense, we find that it's primarily a sympathetic dominant response. When we're in sympathetic dominant, we tend to be in what's called anaerobic physiology, which creates oxidative stress. All that means is we're rusting, and it creates inflammation. The top 60 diseases are diseases of inflammation. And what I find in my office is when there's been 1, 2, or 3 old injuries, this injury pattern that it talks about in Guyton's physiology called an engram, this engram is going on and on and on when the person's not even aware of it, creating excessive anaerobic stress, inflammation, oxidative stress. The next thing that you can start to take into account is what we call SEMO. SEMO stands for subconscious. It's below the level of consciousness. Emotional memory override. It means that there's emotions, there's dramas, and there's traumas. There's belief systems, there's negative emotions such as anger or resentment or pride or desire, shame, grief, guilt, apathy. We all have these emotions stuck in our subconscious mind, or patterns or beliefs, and these can get triggered by the senses and put us into an inappropriate physiology. And when that gets triggered over and over and over again, there's a stuck pattern, and the body gets exhausted. It tends to produce inflammation, and then they're going to be able to put a name on it through pathology or diagnostic tests. But it's essentially unlocking the subconscious mind, which is what we believe we do very, very well with BEST. And one of the other things is dental toxicities. Dr. Yosaki Omura is a very prominent medical researcher, has found that heavy metals in the mouth during dental procedures can create toxic responses in the body. So here you have it. These are some major triggers that you could avoid today and create a healthier tomorrow. So what we're talking about in holistic healthcare is not treating a specific ailment or disease, but it's really just creating the environment for the body to heal. And one of the ways we create an environment for the body to heal is to stop doing what everybody else is doing. And as we make we let go of these attachments to these unhealthy habits and embrace our avoidance of eating properly, what we call the 6 essentials, which is what you eat, drink, breathe, rest, exercise, and think about. As we start to practice these tenets, it will create the internal environment for the body not to get sick, and if you have some symptoms, the body will start to heal on its own the way it was created to when you make different choices. This is Dr. Roland Phillips at Desert Health and Health and Wellness Alliance, and have a great day.